Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Brock the Collector here, coming back to you with another video. Today, I am going to be taking y'all through the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Well, I already said Marvel Legends reveals as far as the line goes. Today, we're going to be taking a look at all the movie and TV show figures that they revealed for the line at SDCC. I'd say, overall, it was a good show. Actually, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it because they revealed a lot of stuff that I've really been looking forward to, some stuff that I never thought was going to happen. But I mean, there was a plenty of piece of pie there for everybody. Animated fans, comic fans, movie fans. And honestly, they set up a lot of stuff for the future that I'm really looking forward to see followed up on. So to begin, we got to look at the Disney Plus wave. They've revealed official images. The wave is officially revealed. Of course, many of these photos of this wave were leaking out a lot earlier, like weeks ago now. We've started seeing photos of this wave from different people, mainly in Turkey. They got the wave over there. So we've basically known every single figure in this wave and the Build-A-Figure for some time now. And that's actually something that they kind of laughed about at the panel. But we actually do have a look at the full wave now and official images. And let's go through it real quick. So this is the first time y'all are going to be hearing me talk about them. So here we got Gamora Thanos, a nice Gamora Thanos figure. You guys know that this was one of my most anticipated Marvel Legends ever since Infinity Ultron. And here she is, man. She looks beautiful. They announced her back at, I think it was, they announced her back at, I think it was PulseCon last year, so October. They showed a 3D render, and we didn't really know much about where she was coming until, well, actually, Rectangular had just like a week prior revealed that she was coming in a wave, and so they showed the 3D render, so we were imagining that this is where it would come, but that was some time ago now. So she's probably becoming one of the longest figures from our initial seeing of them to getting her in hand, probably. But you know what? She looks good, man. I'm really looking forward to this. I was kind of iffy about the face sculpt at first, and I'm coming around on it. The neck seems a bit long, but overall, I'm really liking this. This looks good. Next up, Yelena Belova is finally getting her treatment in her Hawkeye appearance. This is one I saw requested by many people, and honestly, it doesn't look bad. They are taking parts here from the previous Yelena Belova, but the leaked photos made this thing look awful, honestly. I did not think that this thing looked good in the leaked photos at all. But over time, as we see more photos, I really like the head sculpt, actually. The head sculpt I am coming around on. That thing looks fantastic. They, of course, I think that that's an all-new sculpt. They've changed up the hair to be more accurate to the show. She got some batons there. Hopefully she comes with some pistols. I'm not sure whether or not she does or does not. But yeah, Yelena Belova, she's coming to the line in her Hawkeye appearance, so should go good with that Hawkeye display that people may be setting up with all the characters we got now and the tracksuits. The only thing is that I don't believe that she comes with an interchangeable head for her goggles appearance, which would have been really nice to see. And I could imagine some people using this body to make maybe some Widow's customs. Perhaps, but I'm pretty sure that they're two different appearances, probably. Next up, we got Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin from the Hawkeye series. This looks like more in line with his Daredevil look, because in the Hawkeye series, didn't he have a Hawaiian jacket or something like that, or Hawaiian shirt underneath the white coat, the white jacket? But in this, here we go with the full on, I wouldn't say classic appearance, but the more recognizable, more overall form fitting, standard Kingpin appearance that should work for any display. And man, this thing looks good. But the only thing is, I was worried about this body because, number one, when the leaked photos of the wave, the first leaked photos of the full assortment were shown back in, what was it called? Back in March. Number one, those things were too blurry to even see anything. But number two, this figure looked really tiny in those, and I'm realizing why. They're using the Happy Hogan body. Now, it's not the smallest thing in the world, but I do think with Vincent D'Onofrio being 6'4", and other characters in the average MCU character or the average MCU figure being about 6 feet tall in translation, this thing should stand quite a bit taller than them because Vincent D'Onofrio is a big dude. So I hope that this thing services well. I've seen different photos, whether or not it's from the leaks or in official images, where the face looks either really good or like but we'll have to see how that goes. Comes with his cane here. And we'll actually see some photos of him displayed in the booth so that you could get a better look at that in hand. But overall, this image here, this is a nice kingpin look, man. It looks pretty good. Now this one, yeah, people been looking forward to this one. Agatha Harkness. I wasn't one of the personal people who had her on my wish list because I didn't think that they'd be able to do her super duper fun in the line in terms of, like, she wears huge gowns, and I personally like soft goods, so I would have liked to see it in soft goods, I'd imagine. But honestly, looking at it now, this looks fire, and it's probably the best way to get them to actually accentuate that sculpted detail because honestly, most of the time soft goods in the Marvel Legends line doesn't look that great, like especially with Storm on the wrists. But man, this all being sculpted plastic, this looks really good. The shine of this figure is the head sculpt. We will see a photo of her in the booth later. The head sculpt on this woman looks absolutely fantastic. She's got the dirty fingers. She's been messing around somewhere where she shouldn't be, and we'll see what's going on with the rest of that body down there. I'd imagine that those legs are reused because nobody's even going to be able to use them anyways. This is the first peek we're taking at him. I'm sitting here thinking that she was going to be a Moloch Star Wars Black Series type situation in which, shoot, it's just a block under there. So it was nice for them to give her legs. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting her. But this looks fantastic right there. Here go the booth images. We only got official images of those four because there's still four figures left in the wave that they did not show official images for, which we will see in the booth here. So the picture credit, of course, to MCU Collector 24 on Instagram. He is where I am getting these photos, these in booth photos from. There's a look at the Yelena fighting some Tracksuit Mafia figures, looking very good. The Secret Invasion Talos, and with the two interchangeable head sculpts, those look freaking amazing. Look at that. Look at that. I actually didn't put in the photos of the Secret Invasion figures because they officially revealed those just a few weeks ago on Marvel.com. So I didn't put those into this presentation in particular because they were already sort of revealed. But it is nice to see them again, and y'all are talking about them for the first time. I personally think that they're fire. I think that the Talos is fire. The Nick Fury we'll get to in a second, but this figure looks absolutely amazing. Both head sculpts out of this world good looking, and I do like that they're bringing back that interchangeable neck, so that looks really good. All pinless as well. That's the Build-A-Figure Hydra Stomper. I don't You know what? Let's go back to that one. Nick Fury is this is one I was actually really looking forward to after hearing to get him in his Secret Invasion appearance. But this figure doesn't look like it's going to be all that fun. Number one, the legs down here, they look like they suffer from those chameleon sort of legs, even though we have a Nick Fury body which has better moving ankles. So I hope that that's just this photo and that the ankles are better moving. But this seems to be, there's not much new sculpt here. I don't think that there's any new sculpt here at all, actually. This seems to have, I mean, maybe the coat and maybe what's underneath the coat, but overall, this figure doesn't look like it's going to be much in terms of articulation-wise. I'm pretty sure that the legs got pins in them. I'd be nice to hear if I'm wrong, but honestly, for them to reuse the shoes and for it to have pinless legs, I think that that's quite unlikely. But overall, the Samuel L. Jackson, I haven't seen many leaks of this particular figure, but I think that the head sculpt looks fine. We might have to get it in hand. It looks a bit too shiny here. Might have to hit it with some matte spray. Overall, the figure, it looks boring, but it also does look like Secret Invasion Nick Fury. I think I'm just going to get a custom cape for him. Hopefully that this thing isn't too difficult to remove. But overall, could be better. But shoot, that services the look in the TV show, which I am enjoying, by the way. Of course, y'all know how much I love this design. The Gamora Thanos design just really clicked for me for some reason. I just think that it looks so awesome, especially in the What If poster. Little fun fact though, in the poster, she is holding Thanos' double-bladed sword, but in that one, the sword is not inverted. Like the blade is not on an opposite side. In the poster, the sword has the same blade on both sides on the same end. So that's just a little nerd thing to point out. But this figure looks good. They seem to have reused the same blade from the Infinity Saga Thanos, so that's fine. It's going to serve the same purpose. This figure looks really good, and I can't even lie to you. All pinless, all newly sculpted, looks to be very well articulated. I can't wait to get it. The only thing that's conflicting with me is the head sculpt and the appearance of the articulation here at the torso. That looks like that's going to, like, kind of an ugly joint sort of thing, but we'll have to get it in hand. I love the green on the figure. I like how it's that sort of more animated, vibrant green, and I'm looking forward to getting that up onto the shelf. There's Kingpin. So this is one of the photos where I think that the head sculpt looks fine, but it does need some matte spray. I think this looks quite shiny, but it's probably all of the flashing lights and everything like that. I bet in person it really wouldn't look that much like that, but overall, man, the figure looks good. Although I think it's kind of weird that his cane, you can't even touch the ground with it. But over here, you can clearly see this is definitely the Happy Hogan body. I mean, look, it would be nice to have the figure represented on the shelf, but I feel like this could have been one that is worthy of new sculpting. So Goliath is apparently gonna be in What If season two, which I was actually really looking forward to when I heard that Lawrence Fishburne was returning, because as you guys know, I love Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I do really love Lawrence Fishburne's character in Ant-Man and the Wasp. But this figure does not look good. Number one, the design is it is kind of awful looking. I can't even lie. I do appreciate that they are pulling from. Excuse me. I do appreciate that they're pulling from the Ant-Man MCU costume, because I feel like that part makes sense. But I don't know. It kind of looks like a. I heard somebody say that it looks like a crappy custom, and it does. I don't know. This just does not look. This just doesn't look good. I've seen edits of fan made MCU costumes of these actors in MCU costumes that look better than this. So I just don't think that this looks good. And obviously it is reuse of that 2018 Ant-Man and the Wasp body, at least in terms of the arms and the legs for the Ant-Man there. So that figure was quite gummy, honestly. I mean, it was a fine figure back at the time, but I think we've outgrown it just a little bit by just one phase of the Marvel Legends line. So this is kind of there's not much going on here. I like the blue, but I don't know. And honestly, the leaked images that I saw, I never saw any sort of representation of it in Lawrence Fishburne head sculpt, whether it be animated or realistic, that comes with this figure. So I also think that the helmet looks quite stupid. But I do. I'm not gonna say that I like it, but I do want it. I can't even lie. I do want it. And I like to build that what if section out, and I that's gonna be a new character adding up to the display, which I do appreciate that they're doing with this latest season of What If. But I mean, shoot, I would have even liked to see the Native American superhero that they just announced a few months ago, Kahori or something like that. I would have liked to see her in this spot instead of this, but hopefully the show will change our mind on that one. Oh, and to go back to the iron to the what's it called, Hydra Stomper, right? This is a horrible choice for a build a figure, in my opinion. I don't think that the build a figure looks bad. I just think that the choice is very ill made. Especially this wave is kind of hit by two different things. Number one, it was supposed to be out earlier, but the what if stuff was delayed, or the what if series, what if season two was delayed. So this is not going to be out in time for that, I'd imagine. So if they choose to delay it, then you'll only be pushing the other characters in this wave, like the Secret Invasion figures and the Hawkeye and WandaVision figures, just farther back. And I feel like that's particularly unwarranted for the Secret Invasion stuff, because that's the newest show out on Disney Plus right now. So it's either coincide with Secret Invasion or coincide with What If season two. And I feel like with all the extra waves coming out, with all the more waves coming out later in the year, that to have this wave drop in the middle of all that, it would just be in the sludge, and it'll probably end up in clearance bins. So I don't know. And honestly, this bath, I don't feel like many people will be motivated to build this bath, especially with the other What If Hydra Stomper being readily available, and that probably being a more iconic look for the character. Of course, the season two hasn't come out yet, but still, I mean, like, come on. The only thing that I'll say that this figure has that has a leg up on that figure is this one, including an unmasked Steve Rogers head sculpt, a little teeny tiny shrimpery Steve Rogers to go with it, which I think is cool. And that head sculpt has a beard, so to get that in hand is going to be cool. I don't think it will be interchangeable with the old Hydra Stomper, but who knows? They didn't really give too much attention to this wave in the panel. They never really revealed anything extra or new about it. I feel like they're saving that for a previous stream, for sorry, not for a previous stream, for a following stream or something like that. Um they never even put up pre-orders for this wave. So we'll just have to see. This is sort of a weird thing. All I can say is that this build a figure choice is ill made. I think that you could have gone with. I know it takes a while to design these figures, but I feel like you could have gone with, like, Abomination is probably the most obvious in my eyes. Unless, of course, they didn't know that Abomination was going to be in She Hulk. But I could have sworn that there's some She-Hulk Abomination Funko Pops out there. I know that there's one thing that that most companies didn't know about, which was the Werewolf by Night stuff. So that's the reason why Funko's just getting their merch out earlier last month, and now Hasbro is hopefully going to catch up on that eventually. But all I know is that yeah, they're playing catch up with some of this stuff, but I just feel like when you're playing catch up and you've got your Build a Figure, which is a hallmark of the Marvel Legends line, this isn't a proper choice to make, especially when you have the other one that's still quite available. But I'm looking forward to getting it. We might do some comparisons with the Hydra Stomper, and to throw this up in the what if section will probably be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't hate that figure. The figure looks good on all consideration. The only thing is that we already have one. Here is yo, I was screaming when I saw this. The Infinity Saga is returning. Of course, Rectangular's list had rumored there being a best of MCU wave, but I mean, it didn't. I mean, he did say Infinity Saga, but who really knew whether or not it was going to be? And of course, the nugget that we had was seeing that Hulk back in May in the Infinity Saga plastic-free packaging. But that was cool, seeing that the Infinity Saga line was back. The only thing about that was that in the plastic-free packaging, that's kind of just like. Mm. But here it is. That's the Infinity Saga box back in the line again. Like this, honestly, it was a fever dream when I saw it. That thing is beautiful. I'm sorry for the low quality images here. This is from the Hasbro Pulse YouTube. They just, I don't know, they don't have a good quality computer to process this stuff on. But they revealed 3 Infinity Saga figures in the panel on Friday. They revealed this Iron Man, which looks really good. This is an Iron Man Mark II. I was expecting to have gotten this years ago. I was completely incorrect when I had put out a community post saying, I guarantee you that the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for 2021 will be the Iron Man Mark II. Because it makes sense. But no, they actually took their time with this one. They did not get back to this in quite a while. So we're finally getting it. It looks amazing. The Mark II is actually one of my favorite Iron Man armors. I just appreciate how it's all silver. Of course, this I think is an exact just repaint of the last one. But there are not a lot of good photos here. But if you see the panel, you can actually see that there are some more intricate details as far as like the little dots being painted on the chest. And, it just like the bolts and everything. It just looks like a really good figure, and that Mark III figure is freaking fantastic. The only thing I've been seeing people complain about is this should have included a Don Cheadle head, which at first I was thinking like why, but then I was just like, yes, Iron Man 2, the fight scene between Iron Man and Rhodey. Like, come on, we should have gotten a Don Cheadle head to go with this boy. So yeah, look at that there. Look. So now you can see the bolts I was talking about, how they've painted those in there and on the legs. Like, man, maybe they did that with the Mark III, but on this figure, the silver really accentuates it. That looks fantastic, man. I'm really looking forward to getting that. And as far as this Infinity Saga wave goes, they never revealed any information as far as pre-orders or anything like that. They only revealed these 3 figures, and they got up out of here. So if you want to go check out my rumor list for my SDCC rumor list, you can go see how we got my 2023 Marvel Legends rumor list. You can go see what's probably going to be in this wave. Next up, man, this one looks real good. They revealed the rumored Black Widow in this wave, which looks freaking fantastic. I remember the main dilemma I had when this Infinity Saga wave was announced last year, or was rumored last year by Rectangular, was whether or not these would have any new sculpting at all, because the choices for the characters were all figures that the Marvel Legends line has made before at some capacity. So there was a very easy possibility that they could all be reused, especially with how outdated some of these figures are, like this Black Widow. But they have hit us with not only the photoreal tech, they've hit us with some new tooling there. She got double jointed pinless arms. Do you see that? That's real nice. So look at that figure there. She got both head sculpts, the sort of Iron Man 2 Avengers Age of Ultron head sculpt, and she got the Winter Soldier head sculpt. Man, that looks good. That looks fantastic. The only thing weighing this figure down is that I feel like those are the old legs, and that's the number one issue with older figures, is that the legs usually aren't that good. But those could very well also be, I don't know, I feel like those could also be the Infinity War Black Widow legs. but I don't know. I could be wrong. As far as that goes, I just think that that figure looks fantastic, and then and another Natasha Romanoff to get into the line, and one with the really nice Scarlett Johansson likenesses there. And then they got the MCU Bruce Banner. Ryan Ting on the design team has talked about getting Bruce back into the line, and this looks really freaking good. The head sculpt, the Mark Ruffalo head sculpt, again, I've been saying I was thinking about doing a top 10 best Marvel Legends photoreal likenesses as far as actors go. And now, if I don't start soon, this is going to get all that much harder. Like, look at that head, man. That is Mark Ruffalo. And I like how it's sort of awkward looking, like how Bruce is in the films. Um, I just think that that's very appropriate. This is supposed to be based off his Avengers Infinity War appearance. And, these both of these, just like the Iron Man, will be coming in that plastic Infinity Saga box. So that's pretty cool. And also, little nugget, they announced that what if season 2 Disney Plus wave is going to be the last wave in the plastic free packaging. So if you were worried about plastic free packaging, don't worry, it's on up out of here. Take a look at Bruce up on the toy room floor, the booth floor. Thanks to toying around for these images of the Infinity Saga figures in the booth, by the way. Look at that, man. Pinless arms, but chameleon legs. Unfortunate, but that looks good. And there's a look at some collages that people made for both of the waves. I think that it's either Toy Shiz or somebody. I think it's Adam's Toys or 6-inch Legends, actually. I think it's 6-inch Legends on Instagram who made these collages. Look at those two waves coming out. To be fair, we haven't seen all of this wave yet, but man, if those rumor lists are anything to go off of, and with the amount of like relatively new sculpting I see going on here, that wave is going to be something to behold. That wave is going to be something to behold. And a little nugget here, like shoot, that X-Men 97 wave looked mad good. I think I'm definitely going to be getting the Storm because I enjoy Storm. And shoot, these others might be cops. I think that the head sculpts here all look fantastic. But hey, that's besides the point. Yeah, these waves, man, really looking forward to it. They didn't reveal too much as far as what I'll be picking up at SDCC. It's kind of light on the showings for me personally, but I will be happy to get those Infinity Saga figures whenever they come out, and the What If Season 2 figures. So unlike last year where Marvel Studios was attending and they announced a whole new movie wave, plus they finished off the Disney Plus wave, announced another Disney Plus wave was coming. This year, it's just sort of light because Marvel Studios is they're stepping back on the amount that they're producing, and stuff is getting delayed, wider strike, whatever. All I know is that it's not like the figures can go on strike. So at the end of the day, as long as I get these, I'm cool, and I'm really looking forward to what else we got in these lines. So yeah, what do y'all think about the Marvel Legends reveals at SDCC 2023? What are you most looking forward to out of what we've talked about today? Is there anything that you're definitely going to pick up? Anything that you're skipping out on? What's going on? What are your thoughts on the new Disney Plus Wave 5? What are your thoughts on the Infinity Saga Wave? Which out of those rumors and leak lists are you most excited to see? And let me say this, actually, before we go. They did show a tease. It's my fault. I completely forgot to put in the image here, but they showed a tease of Spider-Man No Way Home. They showed the box that Spider-Man has that he could use to send the villains away, and they showed a very obvious bendy Doc Ock tentacle. So there are No Way Home figures coming. And the way that they were talking about them on the panel, they are very excited to show them to you guys, but they did not reveal those at the panel. So No Way Home villains and No Way Home, more No Way Home characters are coming. They just were not revealed yet. But I guarantee you guys, if you see the leak list, you see what else we got going on, those are right around the corner. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Next big event we got going on is PostCon. Hopefully they reveal a good amount of stuff there that we can talk about. But as for now, hey man, I'm satisfied with what they've revealed for Marvel Legends. Black Series, can I say the same? Absolutely not. But the return of the Infinity Saga line, nice looking Disney Plus wave. Gamora Thanos finally happening. Talos looks incredibly amazing. We got this Agatha that looks freaking fire. Did I put in the Agatha image here? Damn, I completely forgot. But the Agatha looks freaking fire. Kingpin finally. There's good stuff in the burner. So I'm telling you guys, I'm looking forward to it. And plastic packaging is coming back. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me what you thought about the reveals at SDCC. Tell me, what are you picking up? What are you skipping out on? And I hope to see you all in the next one. Stay safe out there, and always remember to do the best. I'll catch